Open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration, explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And now, Barbados. And Digicel, Cayman's bigger, better network. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
What is on your mind, Cayman? If you are ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Here's your host, Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Good afternoon and welcome. Another wonderful Wednesday. We put a smile on our faces because in our hearts has a prayerful purpose to do good things for the populace. Hey, 949-8037, 949-6990. You want a confession? Well, maybe we should confess more today. Not just, tell you what, stay tuned and join us for more discussion.
Avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Email talk today at candw.ky. Let your voice be heard. And now, back to Sterling Dwayne Ebanks, Radio Cayman Talk Today.
Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining us. It is Wednesday and I think more and more as we spend time with each other and recognizing that we are indeed our brother's keeper. It is so important that we do our best to help others. It is often said, you can't help somebody if you can't help yourself. Well, some would say God helps those who help themselves, and others would say, no, God helps those who can't. Well, a helping hand can go a long way, a willing heart and a wonderful spirit, even more so. 949-8037, 949-6990. Or you can WhatsApp 925-3261. It's a call if you wish. You can use the WhatsApp. You can message. But let's hear from you. It's Wednesday. I want to say that to remind myself that already this first month of the year is almost gone. And for some, they're still taking down their Christmas decorations, one, reluctantly, because they don't want the season to be over, and two, they can't find time. Others are like, I can't believe it's already gone. I just put it up. It is in the process of taking down the tree that is affecting some of us. It's the idea that Christmas is come and go, and they go so quickly that we don't always appreciate that we have had time to share and celebrate, to have the food, the fun, and the family around as we fellowship in order to recognize that it is a time such as this that is fleeting. Now, I know it's been a bit of a challenge for many of us for different reasons, health reasons, with the greatest of prayer, the passing of family members, some after an extended illness and some suddenly. And as much as we are prayerful and purposeful and try to project an image of strength, not only for those around us, but for ourselves. Knowing, hearing, believing what we've been told, that life goes on, time waits for no man. Well, let's do a couple of things today. Let's speak with a sense of purpose and honesty. Let's, order our steps in such a way that is with humility and with a sense of a deliberate consciousness. Share what's on your mind, 949-8037 or 949-6990, or you can WhatsApp the call, 925-3261. You can WhatsApp a message, 925-3261, or you can do a voice note. I had an interesting discussion earlier, and it was from two perspectives that I found interesting. The receptiveness, the compassion, the kindness, the consideration, but also the recognition two of the individuals looked at me and they said, we know you must obviously be in some pain because your smile isn't as glowing as often. And it's not to mask at all. I know many of us do that. We mask in many ways. We downplay the agony, the hurt, the thing that is bothering us. Not because, hopefully, we are, too prideful. But many times because we do not, appreciate that there are people around who are offering help. But sometimes it's the glaring recognition that we're on our own. Surrounded by a sea of people, but still alone. Now, that's different than being, alone and not lonely, than being lonely and alone. And one of the ladies, she said, if you look at where Cayman is today, I was reminded, and I did very, very deliberately say it mid-December before I went, that when we go over the Christmas and we share and we celebrate and we sit, that we have the conversations that I know we used to have way back when. One individual said he thought the reason we did it at Christmas was twofold. That's when, and only when, we probably had time or made time to get together. So everybody, friend and family, was sitting around the table, gathered in the backyard, assembled in a space, and it was maybe the Christmas breeze, maybe it was the free-flowing food and other good stuff that helped us to unwind. Maybe it was the return of our fathers and brothers and the seafarers that came back, or the visiting family and friends that only perhaps made the trip home at that time of year. But we talked, and what many of you shared, not only the fact that you consciously made time to talk, you recognize how important it was. A discussion not only about the pace of development, from the heights of buildings to the types of projects, to the growing population, to the statistical, implications of it, given, the numbers that are there. But the honest realization that things are changing and changing fast. So if you wish and you want to be a part of the discussion, fine. 949-8037. I think the opportunity is before us that if we don't engage in that meaningful dialogue and do it now, either A, we'll be caught off guard, caught flat-footed, as they say. B, it'll happen and maybe we'll present that we don't care. That level of, concern isn't evident. So, guess it means that you don't care. Or, as some have, sort of put forward, well, if people are doing something and nobody is saying anything, then it must mean that either they're okay with it, or they don't have the courage, or the tenacity, or the wherewithal to even try anything. Well, any of those things, at the end of the day, it doesn't really amount to anything positive. But then you tell me otherwise. We'll take the first break, and when we come back, if you want to call and share your thoughts, go right ahead. If you want to cuss and complain, go right ahead. But if you could find solutions or suggestions, even better. But if all you have are questions, at least a question that is asked potentially could be, that an answer can be offered. Here are the numbers before we go into the break. 949-6990, 949-8037, or you can WhatsApp call 925-3261. Join us right after the break.
Rotarians, register now for the most exciting Rotary District Conference you imagine. We're busy crafting an amazing Rotary experience like none other. The flavors, the feel, the fellowship, the music, the color, the memories about to be created. Start your district conference experience now. Complete your registration online today. D7020conference.ky. We waiting, we ready. A message from District Governor David Cocaldi. Rotary, creating hope in the world.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. I go in flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, and child, they now have Barbados. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old gal.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
From boat days to beach gatherings, leave the catering to Subway. Choose from small and large sandwich platters, double meat wrap platters, and top it off with optional cookie platters for dessert. Or ask about our Subway box to go with the option of 6-inch or foot-long sandwich, 1 cookie, and 1 bag of chips. For all occasions and celebrations, let Subway focus on the food so you can focus on the fun. Visit subway.ky for catering options. Subway. Eat fresh. Welcome to a new year with Digicel. Elevate your mobile experience by switching to our prepaid or postpaid plans. Enjoy more data, seamless communication, and uninterrupted entertainment. Plus, make the switch now for a chance to win exciting rewards. Stay connected, entertained, and make 2024 your year with Digicel. Because better connections make a better year.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN Money Transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card, pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
It will be Saturday, January 20th, 9 a.m. through 5 p.m. The annual Cayman Islands Orchid Society show is here. Location? Agricultural Showgrounds, Agricola Drive, Lower Valley, Bodden Town. A delightful exhibition of compellingly beautiful orchids, accessories, and implements. Expand your horizons. Grow your knowledge. Be a student of orchids for a day. Classes, briefing sessions around species, plant requirements, orchid care. Manage your plants. Save the date, Saturday, January 20th, the annual Orchid Society Show and Tell, the Agricultural Showgrounds. Bring the family, bring a friend. Orchids, no plants, no bloom like an orchid.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thanks very much for sharing your thoughts. Let's go straight to the phones. Welcome. Thank you for calling.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sterling.
And to you, a blessed
and
day.
Happy New Year to you.
It shall be. Thank you. And to you as well.
I'm fine. You said I must call if you have an idea or you have something resting on you, so I'm going to rest something on the Cayman Islands now.
There you go. I'm ready to hear you. Go right ahead.
Okay, first of all, there are so many seniors and elderly people in Bordentown. And every night I go to my bed, I pray that someone will see the light. We have people that have made this island, and right now the people are hurting. They're punishing. I don't know whatever else to say. But every night I go to my bed, and I'm hoping that someone will have a vision to put a daycare center into Bordentown for the elderly and the seniors. They are the ones that have made our island. People have come here enjoying every day of a good life, enjoying our beaches, our hotels, whatever, even our crowded roads. But we don't have no respect for our people that made this island for them to come in and enjoy. So I am appealing to the MLAs of Bordentown or anyone else that want to steal my idea and put it into action. We need to get a house for the elderly, a daycare center. People cannot afford to put their parents or their elderly, whoever they're looking for, into the Pines or have a helper come in. They have to pay pension. They have to pay insurance. We, the Caymanians, are not able to do this. We're retiring at age 50, 55. The money is done. You have to take your loved ones. They should be the priority in this island. They were the ones that made the island, and I am appealing to anyone now. They have Crown land. Use that. Find a piece of property, build a nice 10 or 20 rooms, have the people drop their loved ones off in the morning at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, whatever time convenient for them. Let them stay in the evening, have someone to take care, cook them a good meal, read the Bible for some, make them watch TV, play games or whatever, play dominoes, read storybooks, even if they want to go back to those days. I don't know what is happening in this island. No one is caring about the elderly. I am ashamed to know that we have people, and this island has so much to offer, and yet they are taking our old people that has made this island and throwing them and forgetting about them. I am appealing to anyone in government or anyone that has any type of money to do something for the people of Bordentown, especially because I am in that area and I see a lot of things that are going on. And not only Bordentown area, we need it in every district. There's money floating around. MLAs are getting extra money. We need to do something for our elderly people that have made this island. And anyone that want to take me on, they can call Radio Cayman because I will be listening. Thank you, Sterling, for listening, and have a good day.
And you have a good day. And thank you for sharing that as well. I mean, you not only hear the wonderful lady's voice and her words, but listen to her heart and understand her appeal. And it's probably how she shared, not just in one particular area of the country, one district or one part of that district, but the country over. And maybe as she shares, not just as a for-profit venture. We know facilities like that across North America and the U.S. in particular. They are quite lucrative, make a lot of money for a lot of people. I would have hesitated initially to have, shared this, but given her a call. Part of a discussion that I had earlier, one of the ladies was saying that, thankfully as part of her church and others, and there's some that do it, they do great things for their seniors. It's a drop-in program, there are exercises, they have initiatives. But we have, as she said, adopted, nice euphemism, the shut-ins. But do we visit them? Is there enough of us doing the growing need is there? Let's take this call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Hey, Sterling, good afternoon.
How are you doing, man? You good?
Yeah, man. I came to you, man, but I didn't bring you chocolate, so I'm coming back down this weekend. If I cross you, I'll give it to you. So.
Perfect, man. Perfect.
Hey, buddy. No problem. I couldn't help but I had to call after that lady just called in and spoke. That been one of my biggest concerns, and I take my right now I don't have on a hat, but if I did, I would take it off to her. Strong, opinionated woman, strong, very strong, and she telling the truth. We just went through a Christmas season. We enter a New Year season. All the money that has been thrown out this Christmas on Christmas lights by the government, nothing was given out to the people for them to benefit from. All the Christmas lights that they get, and the fireworks that they get, the nice comments regarding what they did. But what, at the end of the day, has been done for the people? The Christmas lights and the fireworks can't feed the people. It can't take care of our elderly. We have the problem here in the Bronx. I know numerous amount of elderly that I go and sit and talk to, that the people are neglecting, Sterling. But it's that time of year where it's coming around to election time that they're going to be doing the endeavor best to go and look and beg for that X on that paper at the end of the day. That lady was so correct when she asked for people to help for the seniors. We are not focusing in this life on ourselves. We should be worrying about those that we love as our seniors. We take care of them first. We take care of our children next. And then we take care of ourselves last. The money has been dishing out left and right in this country for the last month gone by, November, December. And they can't sit and say comfortably that they have taken care of their senior citizens. They can't say it. And if they say it, they are, I wouldn't call them a liar, because that would be flabbergasting against people on the radio. But I will turn around and say that it's not perfect, accurate information for them to say that they have taken care of our senior citizens. I know when my mother was alive, one of the things she had begged for was not to let me take her to be tamed by people in a senior citizens building because of how they've been treated. But like what I later said, even if they had something to put there for them to take care of them till their family members return from their work, that is a plus. Sterling, the districts of Grand Cayman, each one of them should have had a senior citizen establishment. Each district should have had their own, not the Pines in Georgetown. Each district. We have one here in the Brock. Well, we can accommodate that because we don't have far to travel. But in Grand Cayman, by all means, the politicians, all these years, you can tell me they overlook the seriousness of taking care of who matters first. Come on. What is happening with our people that we are putting in power? What is happening to our people that we call our politicians, our leaders? It's high time that we put aside ourselves and take care of others. That is my ambition this morning towards what I'd later say, and I'll back her 100%.
Let me ask though. I mean, I recognize increasingly that there are many of us with their express permission and even, how do I put it, almost constant ask. I've been reluctant because, you don't want to talk out of school, you don't want to back out the people's water, all those things, right? And I'm also recognizing that some people will use others, to be the screwdriver as they implement in their hand to do their dirty work and their bidding, right?
Yeah.
But I understand from the conversation earlier that I've had where one of the people said, listen, I don't like to speak on the radio, I don't get publicly for two reasons. My words, right? From the way he said it, he don't want to get all riled up and start cussing and ranting and raving. You don't want to, like you said, to be inflammatory and defamatory and say things to people that probably need to be said, but maybe the public space isn't the time nor the place, right?
Yeah.
But also, there is a backlash that can be had, and as one of the people, he said, straight up, it's not so much that people will attack you, but they may attack people that you care about, right?
True.
Or
That's
others
true.
will look at you and go, but gee, you wouldn't have thought he would have said that. You expected him to be better than... And it's a growing level of frustration, but it's also a recognition that as a people, I'm not saying that we have the monopoly on this, but I know the example that my father set, I see around me, I hear it in you. We're a people of great courage and conviction, people who have great resolve, people with a sense of commitment, right? Concern, compassion for others. And for whatever reason, maybe something in the water, maybe something in the injections we're taking, who knows what it is. But it seems that we're no longer standing together, right? And what's going to take to change that? How do we join our hands and hearts to help? I mean, the lady, as you said, called and said, these are our elderly. In their time such as this, we should be loving on them, and they should be felt respected as they deserve. They should be not just accommodated, but included. We can talk a lot, but what are we doing?
Well, my father used to say, Talk comes easy, but action prove otherwise. Sterling, that's the style, that's the life we are living in. All we is talk and no action.
Yeah. Can I ask? Sorry, let me ask you, please, and not just of you, and not just to you, but do you think in our society, that just generally, that we were more concerned with, style over substance? It was about a facade. We want to pretend everything's good, and we project this thing that there isn't any issue. It's just superficial. Style over substance. The yard looks great. I mean, well manicured. Not a leaf on the ground. The hedge is this way. The trees are pruned. The house is painted. Everything looks great, right? You come inside, spick and span, but it's cold. There's no thing. I'm just, maybe that's not the best example. Maybe the car outside is clean, but the engine not working. However you want to put it. Style, no substance.
That is exactly how the terminology you just used there with the car, spick and span, but you're not working.
Yeah.
that is our government system. That right there, Sterling. You could not find a better word. And I don't think I would have found that word. What he said there just top is the thing off. The car, beautiful on the outside, but the engine, when you open it, it is gunk, full of gunk. That is our government system.
Yeah. We
have people that is suited up in put suits, but deep down they are just as hard and cold. They worries about no one but themselves. The people have to come out of that shell.
Right.
We are in a shell, and if we don't break loose and realize that people's lives matter in this country, we are going to head down a road that the people are just going to be, what's going to happen pretty soon? And let me give you a story, Sterling. A lady, and I hope she don't hold me according to what I'm saying, because I'm not going to call her name, but a senior lady living alone fell in her home. It wasn't found till the next day. She could have died in her home.
Yeah.
These kind of things matters to people. We take our senior citizens, we take them for joke.
Yeah.
Like what I later say, we basically take them for joke.
Yeah. But let me ask you, right? And again, hopefully, because I recognize many of us don't want to face the reality. I say this knowing that this may offend some people, it may strike a nerve, right? But even with our personal health, we're going to ignore going to the doctor, ignore that niggling little thing, because we don't want to, what if it's something else? I get that. I honestly get that. It doesn't mean it's right. I relate to it, I understand. Or we believe we can fix it, right? My shoulder is bugging me now today because foolishly I ignored it for the longest time, right? I didn't have to take any painkillers. I didn't do anything, significant. But had I been sensible, right? Friends of physicians we have excellent health care in this country, right? I could have gone, got it checked out, and maybe got it resolved much sooner. But no, leave it alone, let it get worse, right? Think it'll go away. I use that as an example to ask other people, go look after your health. We all know, but we don't do. But to your point, just like the elderly or the individual living by herself or himself, we're, as a community, are we as involved and invested in being our brothers, keep on looking after each other? I referenced what the lady said earlier. We talk within the church community. Oh, we got to go visit the shut-ins. Why are they shut in to begin with, she asks. And are we visiting them often enough, right? And then secondly, we point fingers. And I know my friends and family who are politicians will say, boy, stop beating up on us. It's justified. We expect so much of the politicians and the government. But with a great respect, what about us who are the voters, us who are the community? Are the politicians the only one with any sense? Are the politicians the only ones with any solutions? Are the politicians the only one expected to do anything? What about the rest of us?
Well, that's what I say, Sterling. Right. I go out of my way to do anything for an elder. I will go out of my way to do anything. I spoke to a lady some months ago, and tears came to my eyes to know that that lady in her house is still in her home without a roof, that is still pouring after Paloma all these years. Things like that touches me. And to know that we have people that don't care because they promise you and they see you today, and you won't see them till the next 4 years. And they come knocking on your door with a case of water and say, listen, I want you to vote for me. We have people that are in need.
Yeah, man.
This thing about the elderly, that is a concern in this country, and they need to stop and take stock of what they're doing in order to get this under control.
Hey, James Albert, we have a break to take. You got two choices, man. You can hang on, you can call back later. Actually, give you a third choice. You can hang on, you can call back later, or you can call it the day for now until you're ready to play another time. What's your choice?
No, I want to hear someone else, so I'll call you another time, Bo.
Bo, always a pleasure, man. Safe flight.
Yeah,
See you
man.
soon. All right.
All right, sir.
Cool. All right, let's pause and take that break. And when you come back, if you call, well, we'll hear from you. If you don't call, well, we don't know what you have to say. So stay tuned.
Find your dream car with a Cayman National Vehicle Loan. Enjoy 100% financing, up to 8-year repayment, and a 7% fixed interest rate for the first 5 years. For eco-friendly cars, we'll waive your commitment fee. This only applies to new vehicles until December 31st, 2023. Call 949-8300 or email lending@caymannational.com today.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Boddentown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Boddentown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Cayman Brac, are you ready for fiber? Flow Fiber is now available island-wide across Cayman Brac. Get faster speeds and a reliable internet connection only with Flow. Visit the Flow Stake Bay Store or discoverflow.co to sign up today. Flow Fiber is now available island-wide across Cayman Brac. Join Cayman Brac's only fiber network. Terms and conditions apply.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
You asked, and we listened. The Water Authority's new customer portal is here. The new and improved platform lets you manage your account easily and more independently from a user-friendly design. With the new customer portal, you can view and pay your bill online, schedule bill payments, make payments on multiple accounts at one time, manage tenant and landlord accounts, view your consumption history, make service requests, and so much more. The service is also available to tenant accounts. Visit www.waterauthority.ky to sign up today.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back. Thanks very much for joining us. Thanks to the last call. A couple of questions and comments come in since he's shared, but I'll relay them in a bit. Let's take this next call, though. Hey, thanks for calling.
Hello, sir. Good day to you.
And to you, sir. How are you?
I couldn't be better.
I like the sound of that.
Mr. Sterling, I'd like you to advise your listeners that there's an important meeting in the saga of beach accesses, which continues and continues on. tomorrow, Thursday, January the 18th at 9:30 in courtroom 3. There is and before the Honorable Justice Carter, the DART organization, who has unlawfully blocked right-of-ways, both in front of the Kimpton and in front of Royal Palms, Carl Cayman. There's a matter that's coming back to court. Been there for 3 times already. And this is for directions hearing this time. Now, most people poo-poo directions hearings, oh, nothing important goes on and all that. But that's not so. That's a time when a lot of trickified things can occur. When schedules are set, when the rules of evidence, who's going to give witness, who's going to come in, and a lot of these types of things are discussed and set so that the judge can plan the courtroom and there can be an order as it proceeds, the planning of the handling of the trial. Now, this was done by the DART organization, and as I understand it, without the knowledge of the Public Lands Commission, which is charged with the responsibility of public lands and rights of ways, or the Attorney General's Department initially. They now know. But you see, since October the 31st, 2019, when the DART organization had in February of 2019 filed against the government for the right-of-ways at Royal Palms and Carl Cayman and the Kimpton. 4 different right-of-ways were blocked. And they had applied to the Registrar of Land to allow them to move them wherever they wanted to do and what they wanted to do with them. But the Registrar of Land said, I don't have permission to do this, because all the people that benefit from a right-of-way, once it's registered, have to agree before that right-of-way is changed. And those right-of-ways were given to the public. Therefore, the Registrar of Lands can't do it just on her own. At least that's the way it was up until the year 2018, when the PPM government, in order to facilitate certain things under the DART NAR agreement, which was signed on December the 15th, 2011, the CPM government changed the law to say, the registered land law, so that if the 2 parties don't agree, one party wants to make an amendment, then they can go to court. And in court, it's up to the judge if they want to do it. Well, the permission to construct the tunnel was done on the basis that they were given 6 months to get the Registrar of Lands to change the right-of-ways to wherever they wanted to put them. But then when the Registrar of Lands said, I can't do it, it never happened. 6 months passed, they built the tunnel, and so they built the tunnel without proper permission, because that condition was not met. So the DART organization put it in September 2019, and after the PPM had done the change in the law to facilitate the DART organization, the matter was brought to court by the DART organization. And the Registrar of Land, the Attorney General, and the Public Lands Commission, none of them were served any notice by DART. There was an ex parte, in other words, a secret hearing was planned to be done by DART. And when we also know that the 3 entities I just told you had decided they weren't going to oppose it. They were going to renege on their duties to the people of the Cayman Islands. That's what they're paid to do, is to represent the interests of the people of the Cayman Islands. And they weren't going to do it, so we did what was called an intervention. Subsequently, I won't get into all the details of the different kinds of the court, but subsequently, eventually the future hearing, the Honorable Justice Hale found that they did not have the full permission to build the tunnel, and therefore the construction that was done was unlawful, and that she said she would decide the penalty, and told the interveners, us, that we should go and negotiate with DART for damages and compensation, and to come back in 2 weeks. Well, what happened is that the Public Lands Commission and the Attorney General woke up and realized, hey, we need to get involved in it, which is fine. That's exactly what we wanted to happen. And eventually in 2021, October 21, I think it was, 22nd, after they became involved, we went and applied then to the same justice to come off as being interveners. But we wanted to be assured that we would still be kept informed, so we just didn't trust government, you see, that they would keep us informed every step of the way.
Do you have time, sir? Because what you're sharing is important, but we do have the scheduled news break. Are you able to stay on and share and educate and inform us a little bit more?
I'll stay through the news break. Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that. Please join us right after, because what he says, it might be of interest to you. Stay tuned.
From district to district, moving through the waters to Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Your station, your voice. All things Cayman. One radio, many people. This is home.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
Brought to you by Health Services Authority.
With your latest headlines, I'm April Cummings. The Ormond Panton inaugural lecture is tomorrow night at 6 p.m. at Sir Vassal Johnson Hall at the University College of the Cayman Islands campus. Professor Nathan Conley is the featured lecturer, a Herbert Baxter Adams Associate Professor of History at Johns Hopkins University. The lecture is titled Letters from the Ancestors, Family, History, Political Economy, and the Future of the Cayman Islands. In international headlines, a shipment of medicine for dozens of hostages held by Hamas was on the way to Gaza today after France and Qatar mediated the first agreement between Israel and the militant group since a week-long ceasefire in November. The medicine arrived in Egypt and was on the way to the border. A senior Hamas official said for every box provided for the hostages, 1,000 boxes of medicine would be sent for Palestinians. The deal also includes the delivery of humanitarian aid to residents of the besieged coastal enclave. The Princess of Wales has been hospitalized after undergoing planned abdominal surgery and will remain at a private London clinic for up to 2 weeks. That, according to Kensington Palace. Moments after the news of Kate's hospitalization was released, Buckingham Palace revealed that King Charles III would undergo a corrective procedure next week for an enlarged prostate. The palace said the king's condition was benign. The palace said the 75-year-old monarch has sought treatment for an enlarged prostate, quote, in common with thousands of men each year. Those are your headlines. I'm April Cummings.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter. Radio Cayman Headline News.
Brought to you by Health Services Authority.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Una Ideen Bush, Certificate of Honor, 1908-1995.
Miss Una devoted a lifetime of service to her country and community. She began her career as a school teacher and rose to head the Government Savings Bank, which she developed as the first banking institution in the Cayman Islands. She served her church and community in many other ways, including as a Sunday school teacher, organist, Girls Brigade leader, founding member of the Business and Professional Women's Club, and member of the Garden Club.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us. It is open line as we invite you to share your thoughts. 949-8037, 949-6990. Of course, you can WhatsApp, call, message, voice note, but you can even WhatsApp or call 925-3261. The fine gentleman had been so gracious with his time to stay on the line. Still there, sir?
Okay, sir.
All right, thank you very much, man. Thanks again.
Okay, sir. Good. Thank you for allowing me to talk about this subject here.
But thanks for taking time to do so. Yes.
Okay, so this case now, the hearing that's coming up, as I started to mention, and I know some people, they say it isn't that important, the directions hearing, but it is very important. And at the previous hearing, it had been changed by the Honorable Justice Hale that the hearings for the case would be in open court. Now, the notice for this one says that it's in chambers, but the judge has the authority to let anyone into the court that she wants to let into the court. So we're hoping that people will be able to come into the court to hear what is in the mind of the DARTA organization that they're trying to accomplish by putting this there. And I am asking people to protect your beaches, because once this case is decided, if decided in the wrong way, then every right of way in our island is at risk. Everyone. Because they will use this as a precedent, this case, and remove. And like what happened in Jamaica, which has the same laws we have, over the years, in Jamaica, there isn't one previous...
Sorry, Mr. B, if you can come back a little closer to the mic. I can hear you okay, but I want everybody to miss what you say, no? Come back closer to your phone.
All right.
Okay, sir. Yeah. All right. Yeah, there you go. You see, you can multitask. Let's
better now?
Better now. All right. Lynn?
Okay, cool. Okay, so
cool.
So it's in court 3 tomorrow. Some of us will be allowed in, but I don't know how many. And it's important that they come out there, at least even if they have to wait outside. And we're there to support the Public Lands Commission, because the Public Lands Commission have decided that the damages and compensation must not be in money, because you give government money for one subject and they're going to spend it on something else. And if we only way and type of compensation that is being sought is land to the value of whatever the amount is decided to be settled to settle this matter.
Right.
And it's very important for people to come out to understand, because at the last hearing, the now Chief Justice Hale noted that there were about 50 to 60 people in the courtroom listening to what was going on. And she reiterated that if beaches are important to you, you need to remain involved to defend them. And I would remind you, too, I think you were aware of, in 2001, there was 500 petitions were submitted to government. 500.
Right.
For the registration of over 150 right-of-ways in Barcus, West Bay Beach, Georgetown, South Sound. None of that registration has taken place to date.
Right.
Because the government didn't want to do it. And in these matters, it's important for people to be there, because if it's something that you love, defend it, or you're going to lose it.
Yeah.
You cannot depend on government to defend the beach access rights for you, and also other things.
Yeah. But if I can...
go ahead.
Sorry, yes, I really appreciate you sharing, because as you said that, I do vividly recall, many individuals not only signing petitions, but coming out and helping to go and look at the I almost want to call them right away, but given the way that they've been treated, you have to wonder if they were indeed. These paths to the beach that we have used, without interruption for generations, seem to have had little or no value. After 25 years of just waiting, some of these same paths would seem to have now been built on, overgrown, or otherwise compromised, right?
Correct, because the planning, CPA, ignores things to deal with Caymanians on the most part.
Right.
Planning isn't for Caymanians. Planning is for foreigners and the big investors.
Well,
not for the ordinary
not
people.
if you ask Caymanians who are trying to add on to their players. They say, boy, they get a lot of hassle. They get a lot of stick.
Oh yeah.
But again,
not the important thing.
We're blaming perhaps the civil servant. Perhaps we're blaming the statutory authority. Perhaps we're blaming the politically elected, appointed, and puppet master. But is there something else afoot that we're ignoring?
Your question answers itself. Definitely. The question answers itself. And so I'm asking people, if you love the beaches and you love these things, Caymanian, then find yourself out there by the court tomorrow morning. Come from about 8:30. And so we'll find out whether they're going to let you inside or not. And as many people that can fit in the courtroom, we're hoping that they will allow them to get into the courtroom to listen to these matters.
Well, the courtroom is a public space. I mean, despite the prison-like setting that we've now established in many of our public buildings, you can't come in anymore. We got ruffians by the door, look like all they would want a uniform, vest, and some sort of urban commando approach. We're seriously affecting democracy and freedom of movement in the country. People don't need much some of these days, to be scared. And anybody that says anything seems to be an affront to, the despots, as it were. Tomorrow.
This is courtroom 3 tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
I'm there as early as you can so we find out where they're going to let who and how many they're going to allow in there, because it does say on this court schedule, it does say in chambers.
Right.
And we are there to support the PLC's position, which has been rejected by the DART organization, on the certain compensations that the PLC has put forward, and that it must be in land, not money.
Right. If I may,
we know it'll be spent where it shouldn't be.
Before we go to
give government money.
Before we go to the next call, if I may ask you, just maybe for my own edification, to ask you to repeat. We have the application tomorrow. It would appear, again, my limited understanding how these things work, just a talk show host. We have the government who may be a party to something legal. So there would be a government legal team. So whether it's the Attorney General's chambers. In this case, is it the Attorney General who would be there on behalf of the government, so therefore by extension on behalf of the people to look out for the interests of the people?
Okay, that leads us into another whole thing. So let me try to be that quick because I'm conscious of the time and how long I've been on.
Yes,
but
sir.
In April of last year, up to April of last year, there was good representation from the Attorney General's chambers. They fought for what the Public Lands Commission members wanted, which was the right thing. They didn't want anything that was not right. But in April of last year, the attorney, who is from the Attorney General's chambers, informed the meeting that the Attorney General's chambers, for whatever reason, would be unable to represent the Public Lands Commission at trial. Because remember, our organization didn't agree with the proposals put forward by the Public Lands Commission, and that they must get an outside attorney. There was no action by the government or ministry or the PLC on that. Then in July, the Attorney General's Chambers representative, again on actually July 24th, told the government, you need to get an outside attorney. They didn't do that. During that period of time, there was correspondence from the DART attorneys that said that they wanted to put a matter into court for a directions hearing and that it may be contentious. Well, we're there. This is what has happened. The government, I believe, based on information we have received, has now begun the process of getting an independent attorney to represent the government, defending the attack by the DART organization. And so that is where it's at. I believe the Attorney General's chambers will probably be there tomorrow morning, but it's more in holding the position, if you want to say, like the proverbial Dutch little boy that stuck his hole in the dike to stop everything from flooding, you know. They're not there preparing for a court case and putting forward witnesses and evidence and all the various schedules and all that, and what will be allowed in as evidence, because, you know, that's a whole big trickery goes on with trials as to what is allowed as evidence. So it's a very important step in the whole process.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Of us preserving, and it's good to hear what the legal people are saying, what the judge is saying, and to understand rather than listening to it secondhand or getting a report from one journalist or news reporter and then getting another one from another, and you know, a lot of times that conflicts. What one person hears, another person hears differently. It would be good if it was all recorded and if all this was online and you could log in on TV. That's transparent justice.
Right.
But without that, we suffer under these conditions.
Yeah. Well, the Star Chambers exist in the past, and maybe we'll return to those again. Who knows, huh? Hey, thanks very much, sir.
Okay, so tomorrow morning, people,
9:30.
Come out. It's courtroom 3, as far as we know, and we're going to try to get as many people in there. See if the judge will allow it. It's all in her control
as
to who is allowed in there or not.
Okay, tomorrow morning, time again?
Come there by about 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Okay.
The case is supposed to be heard at 9:30 after.
Yes, sir.
But you're going to need to be there beforehand.
Yes, sir.
To respect the court and the court's time.
Indeed.
It's a very busy court.
Indeed.
And so, you know, you don't want people drapes and then at 9:45 and that kind of position.
Thanks, sir.
This is ship time,
Yeah.
not Kim on time.
No. If it came on time, it would be on time. I hate when people say that. But anyway, thank you, sir. My dad will tell you different, boy. He tell you 5 o'clock. You better come 5 o'clock. You better come before. Just like Captain Paul and all the others. Let's take this next call, huh? Welcome. Thanks for calling.
Well, a blessed New Year to you too, sir.
And to you. Thank you. How are you?
I am blessed, and I cannot be perturbed by what I hear. And I told myself from last year I'll try to listen less. So I don't get my pressure up to getting older in age, you know.
Man, no, man. You got to listen more, man. You got to talk more.
Sometimes when I get upset, I talk too fast so the people don't understand what I'm saying. So
that makes two of us.
I'm trying to count now and try to slow down.
I'll help you. You help me. All right?
Okay. That was Mr. Adams speaking just a while ago, right?
I think many would recognize him, but he did not.
Historic voice.
Yeah, he
I
did not
call him out.
Yeah,
not to call him out, but I gave him his flowers too, you know.
Yeah, man, he's a good man. He's a good man.
Was I hearing correctly when he said that that tunnel on West Bay Road of that magnitude was built without the permission of the Cayman Islands Planning Department?
Well, if that was the case, you know, is that the only structure that has been like that? But yeah, it would appear that there was some.
Of that magnitude that I know about. That's for all sore eyes to see.
Yeah. Well, it affects movement to and fro in the district, right?
But that's what he said clearly, right?
Yeah, and then the paths where they that is constructed.
So where's there people being held accountable for that kind of action taken? I think this little small court case where they're having, that's a slap in the wrist, because I think this is something of national importance, because this is going to set precedents.
Yeah.
Major precedents, like Mr. Adams alluded to. He said that all our natural or all our paths that we had leading towards all these beach walks and stuff, those are all in jeopardy. So what do we want? Do we want a place that we got to pay to go to the beach, even though it's free?
It's Yeah, you raised some serious questions, right? And it's glaring that either we are so consumed with trying to stay afloat, we are so, what's the word to use, man? The word that comes to mind, callous, but maybe there's a better word somebody else would use. I'm not trying to offend anybody, but if the people in this country don't wake up and realize that the game's afoot, right? And that what we're doing today will affect us today, but it will also affect us for generations to come. It's not about denying development or putting food on a man's plate, or it's about greed. Ours can't be the order of the day. It can't be that what's good for John isn't good for Jane, right?
And the next thing now, okay, let's talk about accountability. You said that you have a problem, you want somebody to come with a solution to it.
Yeah,
right?
man. Yeah, of course, man.
Okay, well, that's a major, major problem, right? No single solution is for that kind of problem, apart from the people that we have been selecting all these decades, because for the last, I would say, 30 years, 30 years, I've seen the same people revolving through the doors of the selection of elections. Yes? We have grandfathers and grandmothers inside there, right? And I don't believe in any country politics should be like a career path that you take. Yeah, you get in, you do your 4 years, and you get out, you know what I mean? Or you do your 4 years, and you take a back bench to teach who's coming forward,
Right.
But the next thing now, accountability now. I sure see if you had a belly pain, right? If your belly start hurting you, that's a medical issue, right? I know you wouldn't check a plumber down the road and say, sir, what do you think wrong with my plumbing inside my stomach? But they're not qualified, right? But yet we have more than half of the legislation that we have, the people that we have in this government positions, not even have a decent degree this year, an accolade. When you're calling a name, you just call them by the name. Direct, there is no JP, MP, and honorable. No, that don't go like that. That, for me, if you look in the dictionary, what honorable is not what they are professing.
Right.
It's not. So who am I to be the fool to say, well, you can tell me, so the Webster Dictionary and the Oxford Dictionary is correct in the English form and telling me what is what, but you're showing me something and telling me something else, because none of them that I see there is honorable, because they don't have no degree in the field that they're in. We have a minister. We have ministers, ministers that don't have nothing to do with the field that they're ministering. Don't have a bachelor's, a master's, or no kind of tertiary education in that. So how do we expect, as Caymanian people, how do we expect to have the best of the best, but we keep on selecting uneducated people that cannot be held accountable? I've heard one of our great repeaters of elections that have been in there said that he has set his bar so low. He know he's doing a great job. And he said that in the LA Legislative Assembly on his speech, his opening speech. I didn't want to call his name out because I think that's a big embarrassment. You know what I mean? But how can you go on a platform as a minister and make a speech like that you know that you're doing perfect at your job, because you know that your bar is set so low you can step over it. You can't fail. So what's that telling the people of the country? You're getting money for nothing. I think it's time that we have a criteria put in that we're saying you have to have certain background and academic going forward if you want to even be a part of the selection. We just can't be selecting every Tom, Dick, and Harry. It doesn't make sense. Not because we like them. There is no future in that. And I believe this is done in a purposeful fashion, because we are still under mother, And I'm sure if you check the parliaments up there, all of them got big degrees who even enter parliament. But the ones here, once you don't get charged with fraud, you could go enter, and you're a Caymanian. But I want to make the Caymanian people know something too. In the next 4 or 5 cycles, okay, they say a Caymanian is a status holder, right? So if my grandfather was a status holder, that makes me a Caymanian, and that makes me eligible to run in the election, right? Make them know. I'm making them know now. This is the government station. A lot of people listen to this. And next couple of years, we don't have our own inside there to dictate and tell them what to do. I tell you that. Because we have no criteria. We have no criteria, and plus, the only reason why I even make my voice even heard in the radio is because I have kids. I have an investment in this country that I call home, and I want them to have that same investment. Up the other day, I have a friend who's Caymanian. They live in England right now, and they're telling me, boy, they had to leave here because boy, they can't live here, and things are going on, and and it's better for them up there. But boy, up there it's kind of like you got to stay in your house. You can't really. It's like the way of life is not the same, but she's trying to say like the way of life is not the same, but the economy on what she's basically what we pay for milk and what they pay for milk is like half compared to what they have over there. You know what I mean? So she's making a saving. She's saying right, but at the same time, I say, look, I call myself layman. Layman means simple. You know what I mean? I don't went to university. I have no CPA or no bachelor's, no degree. No degree. That's a high school education and common sense and motivation. Yeah? And right now, I'm a single parent. I'm a grandfather now even. You know what I mean? And I'm still a single parent. I have a younger child. He's 9 years old. I'm a homeowner, singly occupied by myself. And I pay my mortgage, and I work in a decent job that affords me to pay all of these things.
Yeah, man.
And this is just off of not being no alphabet bachelor's degree and all them kind of things that I had to acquire. It just, you have to know what suits you. Stay in your lane. You know what I mean? I can't live like Dr. Tomlinson.
Yeah.
That man sacrificed his time in school.
Yeah, man.
And he got what he got.
I want to share with you one of our listeners in relation to your comment about the politician, making this statement in the House about setting the bar so low. Listener says, she was listening to the speech, she listened to it, and that was just, sarcasm the politician was using. And I guess I say that many times, I hear what you're saying, but are we as a people actively engaged, involved? Are we listening? Are we attentive? Are we, prayer? We have another caller though, but before taking anything,
I want to say something quick.
Yeah,
I want to say something quick.
Yeah.
I want to refer back to that person who gave the message.
Mm-hmm.
Since she listened to the speech, or he listened to the speech, they know who gave the speech, and that person was a minister of two different ministries. Since I've known them since the last term, and they did some horse trading. And you have a next ministry now. What qualifications do that person have to hold those ministries? And that's Ministry of what's it called now? Health, Ministry of Health, and also Ministry of Security. Tell me what background they have, apart from he's a nice guy through a nice party, that they have, that they say that they gonna lead you forward and lead your family forward to a better future in Cayman Islands. Then we could talk.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right. You too, my friend. Thanks, man. Thanks for the chat. Let's take this call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Sterling, how you doing?
Excellent. How are you?
Good, man. Good, all good. I just have a question to ask you. Maybe you might be able to shed some light on this. But is it possible for any department of government to close their doors to the public without giving notice of disclosure? That they'll be accepting any walk-ins, and I'll be specific, the Public Lands Commission. Because I went there twice this week, and I was greeted by a security guard asking me what is the purpose of my visit. While I could, see staff in the office moving around, and I was told that they were closed because they have a lot of work to do. As far as I know, there's a lot of other various government departments aside from them that have lots of work to do, but they don't close the doors because of that. So I just would like to know if someone could shed some light on that to see, well, if this is a ethical practice or I don't know,
It's a fair question. Let's see if we can get an answer, but maybe through the power of radio, perhaps we can get an immediate response. So you're saying, office can be closed for different reasons, but should they just be closed because at that point in time they're overwhelmed with the amount of work they have?
Yeah, and then I understand if you have some meetings or whatever, but I believe it is fair to the public to provide a notice of disclosure prior to the closure happening. So I'll give you some background. I have an application submitted with them for almost a year now, and the government issued a press release stating that these notices have been sent out. Now I am yet to receive any notice from them. I call. Nobody answers the phone when you call the Public Lands Commission. It don't make sense to call. So I decided to go down there only to find out that they're closed and they're not accepting the walk-ins. So I'm not able to get a response from them. Eventually someone came out to me and, tried to provide me with some answers. But it's been almost a year waiting, and the excuse is that, they have 150 applications. That's why it has taken so long. One of the reasons why it has taken so long. But it's been almost a year now. And you've issued a government press release stating that the work is done. These notices have been issued by the government. It was on the Cayman News. I think it was Monday at 6 or Tuesday. Monday, I think it was at 6. That these permits have been granted, and I am yet to receive any correspondence from them regarding this issue.
Yeah. Well, like so many things, I guess we leave it until it comes to a head, and then there's probably a knee-jerk reaction. Just generally speaking, maybe that's become the order of the day across the board in all that we do. We're no longer forward-thinking and proactive, not even preemptive. We're not proactive. Boy, let's see what happens, huh?
So I mean, it's crazy to think that you have your business plans in place, and your plans are at the it's in someone else's hands. Decision is left in someone else's hands. Your fate is in someone else's hands, and their simple excuse is, we're busy.
Yeah.
They're collecting a paycheck every month to do their job.
Yeah.
And if you can't manage the workload, then request some more staff, or if you can't take the pressure, and then when clients walk up, you come in at them aggressively, or you can't take the pressure of the questions that are being asked, and they're saying that, the reason why they can't answer people because people keep showing up to the door. But that was the response I got. They have to stop what they're doing every minute to answer the door. But I don't know what you'd have a door for in the first place if it's not for people to come in and query and make their questions. They say, we have to stop every minute to answer questions. That's why we can't get. That's why we taking so long. But this is a ridiculous excuse. This is a government department. They're locking customers out because they have a lot of workload. And we didn't provide any notice that they'll be closed this week.
Yeah. Wow. Well,
what they have caused is, and I'm not the only one, people that don't have the sufficient funds to invest in a business of certain natures, they seek investment from other people or other entities. And what has happened is these people wait, and investors sit now waiting, and eventually they pull away. They say this process is taking too long. They've left us in limbo. And now what they have caused essentially is a Caymanian that doesn't have the proceeds to create this business venture on their own. They have lost the opportunity because of the lack of effort, to say the least, put in by these various government departments. And I'm not talking about all civil servants and government departments by any means, because we have some good civil servants and some really good government departments. But this particular department really has no excuse, and it's very frustrating that they can string people along for this time frame, almost a year. Like, what is the excuse for that? How can there be a logical excuse? And then they make these false promises in Parliament that, you'll get a response by the end of October. October comes and goes, no response. You'll get a response by Monday. Yeah. Monday comes, no response. So I just thought I would call in to highlight these issues because I believe it is important for these, like the previous caller said, for accountability. Because if you go to them and try to speak to one of the heads, it's, they'll just, shrug you off, basically.
Well, I'm glad you took time to share. I'm sorry sometimes that's the experience we encounter. But thanks very much, right? Hopefully there is a resolution before days out. All right? Thanks, man. Scheduled break, a little bit into it, but let's take it all the same. When we come back, there's more open line. So please call and share your thoughts.
From boat days to beach gatherings, leave the catering to Subway. Choose from small and large sandwich platters, double meat wrap platters, and top it off with optional cookie platters for dessert. Or ask about our Subway box to go with the option of 6-inch or foot-long sandwich, 1 cookie, and 1 bag of chips. For all occasions and celebrations, let Subway focus on the food so you can focus on the fun. Visit subway.ky for catering options. Subway. Eat fresh.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Discover your dream home with Cayman National's home loan. Get up to 95% financing, repayment up to 40 years, and just a 0.5% commitment fee. Your interest rate? Depending on your risk factors, it'll be fixed or variable. Plus, you get a pre-approved credit card. This is a limited time offer. Dial 949-8300 or email lending@caymannational.com today.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. I'm going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, and child, they now have Barbados. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old gal.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your sister islands.
Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Welcome to a new year with Digicel. Elevate your mobile experience by switching to our prepaid or postpaid plans. Enjoy more data, seamless communication, and uninterrupted entertainment. Plus, make the switch now for a chance to win exciting rewards. Stay connected, entertained, and make 2024 your year with Digicel. Because better connections make a better year. Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back and thank you for joining us. It is open line and I still think it's Wednesday, but check the calendar. Time goes fast. It might be even February. Let's take this call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Dwayne. Welcome back to the show. Before I get into my little subject here, I should wish you continued good health. It's good to see that you are back in, although you are not 100%. A couple of things. One, I listened to your the newscast, not the last one, but the other break, and I thought that the reader referred to Prince Charles, King Charles, as the Prince of Wales.
Oh, I didn't listen. No,
Yeah, if they can just check that, because, I mean, Radio Cayman, these things go on record. I thought I heard him being referred to both as King Charles and then later on as Prince of Wales. Now, the way I know it is that once he becomes king, he relinquishes that other title, Prince of Wales, it passes on to somebody else. But I believe it doesn't pass on automatically, but it would normally be given to in this particular case, to Prince William. Prince William. I just thought that they should double check that, because from my research that was not correct. But
Okay.
that is only trying to be helpful.
No, thank you. I mean, some people pay attention to those things, and that's important to know. So thanks, man.
Exactly. Now, I just want to touch a little bit on what Ms. Billy Adam was talking about. I had a little bit of a background to that, because about a couple of years ago, not too long ago, I was representing a group of people who were mainly from the Concerned Citizens Group, who included Ms. Alice Mayco, Mrs. Miss Smith, Ms. Annie Moulton, and Mr. Billy Adam, of course, on the same matter of beach access.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'd like to address more now is the access to the court, because you see, Ms. Billy has been very concerned about the fact that, you see, although it is a directions hearing, which is the hearing where they just determine how many witnesses, how long the hearing will take place, and so on, people tend to say it's not important. But like he was saying,
Mm-hmm.
it is actually very important, because a number of incidental things do come up, okay, which might be substantive. And in fact, in the Grand Court rules, I don't want to get too technical, Dwayne,
Mm-hmm.
in the Grand Court rules, for the nerds on these kinds of issues, if they go to Order 32, Order 32, Rule 13, Order 32, Rule 13, that one basically says that the judge, I'm reading from it now, the judge in chambers may direct that any summons, application, or appeal shall be heard in court, meaning open court, or shall be adjourned into open court, to be heard if he considers that by reason of its importance or some other reason it should be so heard. So in other words, even if generally speaking a matter is one which should be heard or is normally heard in chambers,
Mm-hmm.
a judge should always look at it. If a party says, hey, look, this matter is of public importance, then they should be able to say, even if it's a directions hearing, it should be held in open court. Why? Because you want the public to be able to attend. Now, I am hoping that a number of people involved in that case will be listening to this, because this is a rule they need to cite in case they want to ask the judge to say, can we adjourn into open court, so that people can come. When I last appeared for that group of people, I wound up in a very difficult position, because something like 50 or 60 people showed up, and we felt very, very grateful that they had come to support the cause. And yet when we got there I tried to argue to get them in, to have the case moved to an open court so that they could come and listen. And the judge couldn't just agree to do that. And because of the confusion, even my clients themselves were not able to come in, and it was really totally very embarrassing. Now, to me, this is a call also to the judiciary. You see, it's all right to say, well, this is just a directions hearing, but you see, people out there don't know all these details.
Mm-hmm.
Transparency sometimes just requires certain things, no matter how simple they are,
Right.
to be held in public so that people can see. Because a lot of times you'll find that people are very suspicious. They say, why did they do it this way? Maybe there's nothing untoward that's going on. But when you appear as if you want to restrict, then conspiracy theories, arise. Transparency is very, very important.
Right.
It goes beyond just the fact that you are doing the right thing. You must be seen to be doing the right thing.
Right.
So I hope that people will show up tomorrow on the time given and be able to support that.
Yeah.
Now, all this, despite being so long, that's not what I called.
Before you don't lose your point, though. If I may just ask, just for clarity, with respect, generally, with respect to directions hearings, are they always in chambers, or they can be in chambers, or they must be in chambers? Just for clarity.
Okay. They don't have to be in chambers.
Right.
But generally speaking, they are held in chambers.
Right.
Because they tend to be really more like for perfunctory things usually.
Gotcha.
They don't have to be in chambers, yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to, I mean, it was You did share it, but just in case, those of us who weren't paying attention or, but thank you. So you did call for something else? Let's hear that as well.
Yes, yeah. Okay, this one was actually a very, 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 very big point. I was watching a program which was hosted by your guest host, Raymond Singh, a couple of weeks ago, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
A very good program. I listened to it only after. I didn't listen to it live.
Mm-hmm.
But when I spoke to OC, he brought it to my attention. Basically, a very important issue arose, when Andrew Harris, April Cummings, and Ralph Lewis were on discussing politics as well as the media.
Mm-hmm.
And specifically, the issue related to a matter that Andrew Harris raised. Now, he said that he had made a Freedom of Information request to the courts. And I will quote what he said specifically here. And he said he asked for, quote, an open and a transparent audit of how they dealt with the people who transgressed against COVID regulations. The courts have sealed the records, in essence, will not allow me to come and see how these matters were dealt with, unquote. Then he goes ahead to say, well, 2 people went to jail, but some other people did not go to jail. Basically, what he was saying is, why is the court not giving him that information? And I thought that really needs to be addressed, because the access to court a document is always very controversial. You see, if you ask for documents or if you ask for a record, remember under the FOI law, what you ask for is a record. You ask for the record, and they're supposed to give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you ask for a record in the Department of maybe Environment or any of the other ministries, usually it is not a problem. They would give it to you. But the problem with the courts is because they have this exception, which is that if the matter relates to a judicial function, they can't give it to you. The FOI law, as you will know, makes that exception. And to me, the reason I raise this issue is because I think the courts have tended to being very restrictive in terms of the way they read that. You may remember some time back when Katina Anglin brought the challenge against the governor for use of his power under the Constitution, or alleged power under the Constitution, to enact the Civil Partnership Act. And because of its importance, the media asked for the application for leave to bring judicial review. Now, every application for leave to bring judicial review, since that's the first document you file in court, is supposed to be open to the public, and the media know that. But they had a problem taking that, like giving that, to the media. And then it wound up being so murky because the judge wasn't saying anything. The clerk of court was saying, oh, but the judge has said we can't give this to the public. Meanwhile, the Attorney General, who should not be the spokesman for the courts, said, oh, no, but the judge couldn't have done this, And so, in other words, they basically threw the clerk of court under the bus, which is very usual. Now, the reason I'm going into all this detail is I do think that there is need, if Andrew is listening or any of his colleagues, to try and relook at the issue and see whether perhaps the reason that the court refused to give this information, maybe it might have been because of the way the request was phrased.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you see, under the FOI law, like I've stated, what you request is a record. But if you ask for an audit, that now sounds like you are going to the management of the court, and then they might refuse to do that. Now, the first point about that is that if indeed they refuse to give these records, a good FOI officer should have told the press, okay, we can't give you an audit of the cases, but we can give you the raw information. We can tell you how many cases came,
mm-hmm.
How many convictions were recorded, and how many acquittals were recorded, because that's the raw information. But if you ask for an audit, that's a little bit of something else. So I would ask, if they are listening, to just maybe resubmit the request,
mm-hmm.
and they ask for the raw information. Now, again, I am not saying that the request was wrongly submitted. I'm just going by what he said.
Right.
It may be that it was properly submitted. I also haven't read the ruling of the ombudsman to find out exactly why she said they didn't need to give that. Because I have been successful going to the ombudsman. When I went to the judiciary, I said, give me the number of judges who have been complained against, the nature of the complaint, and the result. Okay, as well as I asked the same information for lawyers. Initially, the court refused to give me that. They said this is a judicial function. I challenged that. I went to the ombudsman, and the ombudsman told them, no. This does not impede your exercise of the judicial function. You should give him the information. And I ended up getting that information. So I just hope that this can be tried again by the members of the press by just asking for the raw information and see if they'll be able to get a better result this time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I wanted to share.
Well, thank you for sharing with that. And of course, as you said, sometimes it's just a phrasing of a question, and not just when it's asked, whom it's asked, but how it's asked. So maybe you're right. You'll help us. If I might just offer up this. Thanks for the story piece about the king. If I think as I read it correct, I'm told that it mentioned that the Prince of Wales was having surgery, and then the king is also scheduled for a procedure next week as well. So maybe sometimes we just didn't hear it as it was shared. But that's neither here nor there at the end of the day, right? What's important is what you shared. Okay.
Yes, thanks very much. Thank you.
Thanks too, man. I always like listening to the gentleman. He brings a very informative perspective that helps to clarify and educate and inform, and accuracy is important. We got to take a break, my friend. Is that what we're going to do? All right, we're going to do that. And we also want to invite you to call and share a thought. I want to hear from you, man. I listen intently. So please, 949-8037.
From boat days to beach gatherings, leave the catering to Subway. Choose from small and large sandwich platters, double meat wrap platters, and top it off with optional cookie platters for dessert. Or ask about our Subway box to go with the option of 6-inch or foot-long sandwich, 1 cookie, and 1 bag of chips. For all occasions and celebrations, let Subway focus on the food so you can focus on the fun. Visit subway.ky for catering options. Subway. Eat fresh.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Freedom, Cayman Brack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
Find your dream car with a Cayman National Vehicle Loan. Enjoy 100% financing, up to 8-year repayment, and a 7% fixed interest rate for the first 5 years. For eco-friendly cars, we'll waive your commitment fee. This only applies to new vehicles until December 31st, 2023. Call 949-8300 or email lending@caymannational.com today.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. I'm going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, and child, they now have Barbados. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old gal.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
You're welcome back. Thanks for sharing with us. And we've got a couple minutes before we go to the news headlines at 2 p.m., but it's open line on a Wednesday. You get a chance to share. Thanks to all of you who listen, all of you who share your thoughts publicly and call in, and all of you who more and more frequently pull me aside and share your thoughts. Hopefully I'm listening intently, understanding what you say, and using this platform as you have asked. I want to encourage and invite and involve and include each and every one of us to share our perspective. 949-8037, 949-6990. 1-800-534-8255 is a toll-free number that might be back up running. And, of course, you can WhatsApp 925-3261. You can call it 925-3261 if you use the WhatsApp. If you call it on a regular cell call, we can see it calling, but like that song says, you know, when you're referring to lights on, nobody home, we can see that. Call them, but we can't answer it. So if you want to use that to get on air as a cell call, use it as a WhatsApp instead. 925-3261. You can send it a voice note. You can send something across for us to read if you wish. But otherwise, 949-8037, 949-6990. As I try to find a spot to put my hand so that it's not so painful. 949-6990 or 949-8037. Now, the last caller was sharing his perspective, and a couple of you messaged to ask, why, as he said, isn't it that the courts in this day and age have an automatic link? You log on. I just had a quick exchange with somebody during a break, and you go into your court TV and you watch it, the proceedings. Now, there's probably a lot more to it than that, the logistics and the like. Certainly watching a courtroom drama, made for television production, it's probably different than what happens in the courts. Maybe they might say, well, the cost of the equipment, the constant live stream. Now, one other person said, how you have those live cams for the streets or for underwater scenes, maybe you have the same. It's just there. My message to the individual was, well, that's an open court. I mean, do you want that on all the time? The judge could be doing stuff. The other people in the court could be doing stuff. Do you want to be seeing them? The person just responded and said, well, the cameras are on our streets and we're doing stuff, legal or otherwise. It's on all the time. Somebody's watching it, so why not there? And I don't think the person is trying to be sarcastic, facetious, or otherwise, but saying if it's an open court and in this day and age, why not have it that if you want to know what's going on, you watch reality TV, well, this is as real as it gets. You log in, you pick it up from where it was, and you follow along. Maybe sometimes, there won't be nothing happening in the courtroom is empty. Whether it's constantly streamed or whether it's only streamed when the court is in use. Well, and as far as the cost, the person says, a camera, an internet link, no cost nothing these days. Again, I paraphrase. Well, what do you think about that? Might be a bad idea. Might be a horrible idea, depending on your perspective. I want to hear from you. 949-8037. 949-6990. Of course, you can WhatsApp 925-3261. We'll pause. We'll take our headline news at 2. When we return, we'll continue the open line here on this wonderful Wednesday and invite you to share your thoughts with us. So stay tuned for Talk Today.
Satisfaction is guaranteed 24 hours a day, whether it's music or information.
From Grand Cayman to Cayman Brac to Little Cayman, we've got you covered.
You ever hear a thing like that?
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Google Street View may soon be coming to Cayman. The National Roads Authority has put out a call for qualified bidders to provide mobile 360-degree imagery that supports data collection and analysis of roadway assets and features on all the public roads on Grand Cayman. The request for proposals deadline is February 2nd. You can find out more information on the government's Bonfire Hub procurement website. And a quick correction to a story we brought you at 1 o'clock today. The inaugural Orman Panton Lecture is on February 1st at 6 p.m. at UCCI. The lecture is free and open to the public. We apologize for any confusion our earlier story may have caused. In international headlines, residents of the Pacific Northwest suffered more misery as an ice storm bore down today, threatening to topple towering trees, turn mountain highways treacherous, and zap power in bitterly cold temperatures. Much of the region was under an ice storm warning throughout the morning, promising only to add to the damage brought by a powerful winter storm that hit over the weekend. California Governor Gavin Newsom says he will not sign a proposed ban on tackle football for children under 12, ending advocates' short-lived hopes of having the bill become law this year. While he said he was deeply concerned about the health and safety of young athletes, an outright ban is not the answer. Those are your headlines. I'm April Cummings from Radio Cayman's Newsroom.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News. Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for sharing with us. And as that question was just, shared, what is on your mind? Well, what's on your mind? 949-8037, 949-6990, or WhatsApp 925-3261, 925-3261 if you want to WhatsApp, or 949-6990 or 949-8037. Now, to one of our listeners who shared a message, just earlier, asking in relation to, would imagine it was one of the earlier callers who was questioning, the accessibility to government offices during their normal working day, and the offices being able to close. The person referenced that it's not unlike other businesses that are important to the public. This individual said, take the payment of our electric bills. Have a seamless scenario. You can't any longer go to CUC directly and pay your utility bill. You have to go to one of their preferred vendors, seemingly gas stations in particular, and some other outlets. So the question a person is posing is, well, if government should not be able to do it, should businesses be able to do the same? Should, if they do, should they be able to restrict the way it has? Well, interesting question, huh? And brings us to the point where we're constantly questioning the leveraging of technology. We can pay online, we can do all sorts of things, without having to be in person. Well, maybe I'll tie that in with, hearings of public authorities, whether it's planning applications or immigration, appeals tribunal, or, the courts. I don't know. Maybe it was similar. Let's take this next call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling. Hello. How are you?
Hello.
Hello. I can hear you. How are you?
Fine, and you?
Oh, now I could only hear you faintly. Now I know who it is. How are you? This is Christmas. How are you?
Not too bad.
All right. Good to hear from you.
Not too bad. I just actually turned the volume up on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
I heard you mention CUC, and I know the full story, but I know that you can go to West Bay, or across from the, what's that place called again? Anyhow, they have an office in West on 7 Mile Stretch, but the rest of the places, the gas stations, is who's taking like bills, payment, and so forth.
Okay, so
I
that's
think
piece.
it's
Okay.
I think that's crazy, not to have an office in town. You got one on the 7 Mile Stretch for CUC, and then you got to go to these gas stations. Some gas stations are not doing the payment no more. They back out for what reason, I don't know. They should all back out so we get that office back in Town Road to go to. But you know how it is. Yeah, Sterling. We're talking about building a port for some time. I guess downtown Georgetown, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what I can't understand is that we got all these ships. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. I'm listening. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're talking about the port. You're saying.
We got these cruise ships coming here, and the simple bit of bump downtown, they can't stay, which is understandable, and it's left up to the captain to stay or go. And we don't have no control over that if you have a port or no port.
Right.
You understand? They still have to leave. I'm not saying that we don't need a port, but where they're going to build it, I don't know, and how much is going to be beneficial to us here, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm calling in regards to, instead of we sitting on here crying about a port, we need to look in for the safeness of the Royal Pair and the cargo port, the two all in one, the 2-in-1 down there.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And sometimes they have to use the cargo section for some of the cruise boats when they come in.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been complaining about the grounds not being kept clean. There's oil down there, water down there, dust is on the ground. And God forbid if either one of these visitors fall on the port by the Royal or the cargo, which is, I say it's 2-in-1 port there, you understand?
Mm-hmm.
There's two in one. So if anybody was to get hurt down there, it could be a heck of a lawsuit on our government.
Mm-hmm.
But I pray it never happen. But what I have to say, and I've been asking, I know the cargo is working all day practically and half the night. What is so wrong with getting some people line up to go down there when the cargo is closed down for the night and get this port cleaned up for when these visitors come to the island, make sure there's no oil on the ground, no water running here and there, and no pile of sand or dust built up on the ground for them to walk and us to walk into our vehicles while we're there. It's a nasty presentation. Their first scene of the island to be walked into all of this unpresentable dirt, and so under the doesn't represent Cayman at all, because you're going to come off on a dirty port and then you're going to drive for 10 minutes. So, Cayman looks pretty clean. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to say that whoever's in charge of that port, Mr. Brian or whoever, they need to take in hand and get that port clean. We got stuff that is up on the Royal Pier that's got water running down into the parking lot where the taxis and buses are parked up on a daily basis. I cannot understand why they can't fix that properly to let the water run elsewhere. There's drains there. Why they don't have something got it run into the drain or whatever it may take to have it fixed properly. You can't keep telling the visitors, step over the water. I mean, that's, if you don't ask them to do that, then they track it into your car and you have even more work to do when you get home at the end of the day. So I'm just asking out there that they need to take a little more cleanliness to the port down there. And also, Sterling, we do not have no proper taxis that do handicap for visitors that come into our island. when these visitors come here, sometimes they have a problem trying to get places in a wheelchair or whatever handicap support they may have. Some buses can't hold them, some taxis can't hold them, whatever the case may be. That should have at least 2 handicap buses, vans parked up at the port as long as these ships are in, and they take these people where they have to go while they're on island. I have backed up on a lot of them. They have come here and got discouraged. Last week I had a lady had some problems, and she got so to the point that she said she would have paid anything to get where she wanted to go. She wanted to go and swim with the turtles. She wanted to go to the turtles. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So we need to look in something in the handicap van to be parked at that Royal to take these people where they have to go when they come on this island and stop making them feel so defeated. They're already in a position. They're not 100%, able. So why feed them negativeness and discouragement to the fact that, what did I come here for? I mean, is this how I'm going to be treated as a handicapped individual? I don't think so. They should be getting royal treatment. So whoever's listening up there, Brian or whoever, you all need to see about getting some vans parked down at the house, a handicap assessment to them, that these people can use them to go where they want to go while they're on the island.
Mm-hmm. All right. Hey, thanks very much, Joe. And before you go, if you can, just for clarity, you referenced there's water coming that you have to ask your passengers to step over. Just for clarity, where is the water coming from?
Well, up on the upper top of the Royal Pier, they got those stores up there, and they got snow cones, and they got like some little pipe running, like a piece of PVC pipe running off of that building from the upper top of that down onto the ground where the garbage containers is being held. Mm-hmm. And then they got these pipes running and the water's running down there, coming down, and it makes a pretty good line at the end of the day. And it's right where we as taxi drivers park, where the people are parked. I don't think they have no water problem. Okay. It is after 4 man that is getting all of this nasty and bad treatment down there at the port. The water's running there, coming from up on the upper top of the Royal, where there's business going on there, where the water's running from. I'm not fully sure, but it's running down on the ground, and every day taxis and buses are parked in it.
Okay. Hey, thanks for clarifying, okay?
Yep.
All right, take care. Okay. And let's take one other call before the break. Welcome. Thanks for calling.
Yo, Mr. Dean.
Hey, how are you, man?
Yeah, right here, man.
Good to hear from you.
Yeah. Why that last caller, boy? She always makes me laugh, boy.
She's a good lady. Very good lady.
Yeah, no, very good, man. She's very direct, man. I just like hearing how she talk, man.
Yeah, man. I agree.
But, Mr. Dean, if all the tourists go in, let's say, one spot, Commander Bay, you go from the airport, you go from the dock.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all of them go into the same spot. Is it only Commander Bay, the most Caymanian spot in the island now, or what? Because I know the taxis and the bus drivers, they don't mind going just Commander Bay, turn around, go back to the port, and then go get more tourists and then go.
Mm-hmm.
So who owns Commander Bay again? I own Commander. You own Commander Bay, Mr. D.
I hear you, man. Yeah. Boy. Yep.
So when you're talking about helping, these other people, but you got other handicapped people here that they can't even get a wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing you see with Kim. I know this is right. If it comes to me that I need $1, right, they don't want me to get $1, for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But they would help somebody jump over the puddle for like probably $1,000. And that's the thing I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I got a mark on me, or you and me got a stench on us or something. Like, we're not allowed to get any like help or anything like that. Because it's really going to get tough here, Mr. D. It's really about to get more tough out here. And, a port I understand what it is about the port, but have you ever been down the back of a cruise ship when they park up yet? I don't think so. You had a prop before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what they for, right? You know where they bees, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, we call them a buggies. Sorry.
Yeah, props.
Yeah, props. Yeah. So I had to call and say, really, can we assess where we need, the money to be going and, really, take in consideration what we have to what other people do have, and let's be grateful and let's be thankful. And let's just say the tourists, yeah, they welcome here, but they don't own over here, and I'm not going to jump, just because somebody have a little, a little scheme going on here that they can, get things going on for just only for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really believe in that, but anyways, I kind of in the sun right now, so I got to jump in the shade. Have a nice day, Mr. Dean.
You too, man. Thanks for calling.
Take it easy.
Have a great day, my friend. Yeah. All right. Well, take the final break. When we come back, give us a call, 949-8037 or 949-6990. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Discover your dream home with Cayman National's home loan. Get up to 95% financing, repayment up to 40 years, and just a 0.5% commitment fee. Your interest rate? Depending on your risk factors, it'll be fixed or variable. Plus, you get a pre-approved credit card. This is a limited time offer. Dial 949-8300 or email lending@caymannational.com today.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. I'm going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have our very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, and child, they now have Barbados. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old gal.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter will be taking appointments from January 12th through 18th at his Crew Road Clinic. Appointment slots are limited. Whether you're seeking advanced skincare, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email dr.portercayman@gmail.com or call 946-9020 to book your appointments today. That is 946-9020.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back and thanks for sharing. And I believe we have 1,547 calls on the line. No, just one. Let's go to the phones. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Mr. Dwayne. Oh, sorry. Sterling Dwayne.
Good afternoon, Right Honorable Member. How are you?
I'm good. Sorry to hear about your illness, but
no, my just a not an illness, my stubbornness. You know, I ignored my shoulder, and now it won't.
Typical Gatsby, yeah.
No, man, no. Just those who are determined and resolute. You know, we're driven, we're independent, we're stubborn. But anyway, thank you for caring, man. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. And Happy New Year to you.
And to you, sir. Feliz Año Nuevo.
Thank you. Doing today, I was hoping to, it was my first call for the year. I hope to be a bit more optimistic, but the Auditor General recent report there, put a little damper on that. Yes.
Okay.
And the last now being with the $5,000 given to each MP. There's no accountability. Since when do we give away government money freely? Those MPs that got that money and cannot account for it should have to pay it back. Caymanians, it's time we get together and do some non-violent dissent to show these people that they are there because of us and for us, not for themselves. I want to see which one of them will bring a motion to say that pay the money back if you can't account for it. Not one of those 19 will do that. If they want, if the money that they're giving to the vulnerable is not enough, vote more. But no, you have to account for that. Some limited accountability. No, give it to me. I can spend it more wisely.
I think
yes, to the highest degree.
Yeah,
but I know I will rather get spanked and slapped on the hand or other parts. But no, it's time that we express to them, I am not your constituent. You are my supposed representative. You're mine, I'm not yours. You do what's best in our interest, not yours. Not only for the next 4 years, the next 400.
But
so come on, Caymanians, let's get together.
What would be the best way, you think, for the public, in particular the voting public, to become more engaged and involved in ensuring that the politically elected aren't there seemingly at the behest of some of us to be our social workers and our chaperones and the like? I mean, to be there to engage in proper policy development and analysis and helping to navigate the path ahead.
Now, one simple way would be to implement these district councils. But no, they're not going to do that. That will then sort of take too much power away from them. No, we're not going down that road. Even though it's a law or in the Constitution, whichever, we're not going down that road. You can have at least once quarterly meetings, and not where you get up there pontificating about what you have done, what you can, and what you're about to do. No, sit back and answer some questions from the public and get their feedback.
Yeah, but again, it comes back to maybe restructuring the role and operation of the office, but also rethinking the expectations of us, the populace, generally. And I wonder if somehow we've gone askew,
we put too much trust in the politicians.
One of our listeners has shared exactly, is it too much to expect accountability, transparency, and fiscal? I guess that should be, management, fiscal responsibility.
I don't think so, and I think there are laws there that demand that. But if government doesn't follow its own rules, who's going to prosecute government? Government? No.
Well,
and for the like I say, the man on the street or the general public, they don't have the funds to go through that.
Yeah.
So the cycle continues.
Right. One of our listeners messages and says, I hear you, Bobo. Just not this once a year piece of beef or ham.
Yeah. Someone mentioned about CUC.
Yeah.
The flat road things I could get peed off about today, but I can leave a couple of minutes for someone else. But CUC, I mean, now you have to go to the gas station to pay your bill, or whatever, unless you can pay it online. A lot of older folks don't have offsprings or maybe family who can do that for them. They have to go up there. You can't go up to the head office. Well, the gas station along West Bay Road, you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
The person or persons who are there, are they working for the gas station or they working for CUC? I mean, business is business, and you go into business to make money. Granted. But we cannot allow these companies to just do as they feel like. They could charge you $2 to issue you a bill. I mean, and our politicians sitting down and allow them to do that, and all these extra fees that the banks charge and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. But a government for the people, yeah. Anyway, my good friend, like I said, I want to leave a few minutes for someone else, and I again just publicly thank the Auditor General for her reports, bringing those things to the public attention or and to the light.
Yeah, man. Hey, thanks for listening. Always thanks, for calling and sharing your thoughts. And don't be a stranger, man. I mean, you have the intellect, the credibility. You also have the acumen and expertise, right? So through your experience, maybe we can benefit and, at least be informed. We can ignore, but at least we'll be informed.
But I sure don't have a radio voice.
Well, I mean, you can't have it all. Man. You can't have it all, man. I mean, the man know how to fishing, he can sail. Next thing you know, he probably tell us you know how to cook turtle meat. All right, take care, my friend. All right?
And to you,
all right, all the best. Well, I think if you listen, there's a resonating chord amongst all of our callers, and it's simply one where it's time that we start to take stock. Maybe it is time that we are prepared to stand in the gap. Maybe it is time for better. And at the end of the day, if we are prepared to work, hands and hearts and join to bring our country closer together from a space and a place where we see what is before us, we do our best not, just to benefit the individual, but to, benefit the country and its succeeding generations. Well, it is time perhaps to look at, now, one of our listeners' message, says what you're asking, there is for the political arm to actually do something meaningful for the island, and that looks more like an impossibility. Well, at the end of the day, I think too many times, as the caller shared, we probably, put our politicians on pedestals, and we elect them, but we do not insist that we join alongside and not just hold them accountable, but partner to ensure that what we're trying to achieve is meaningful, it's measurable, and it's something that has a long-lasting impact of our generations positively. And maybe we used to just wait until the election cycle rolls around and show our approval or disapproval. But maybe that can't continue anymore. Now, maybe with the change in demographic, we might see a different approach that is not what it should be, an assertive, involved, informed, considered position, but something that is more glaring and garrison, that is, more sort of in keeping, with other misbehaviors. Let's hope that that is not the case within this country. I would reckon that our politicians are willing to sit down and listen if we are willing to stand up and offer. Well, as I close out, one of our listeners says, I'd like you to close the show by asking the people to write down a decision the MPs have made that will make Caymanians' life better, and see how much you get. So, to that listener who message, let's start homework. It's our collective input. For tomorrow, I want you to make a note and share with us tomorrow. Are there any decisions, any things that you think our politicians or MPs, have made that will make life in Cayman and lives of Caymanians better? You may come up with one, you may come up with 1,001, and share with us tomorrow. You can message them in if you wish. You can call, preferably on air, and share. So, this last administration, thus far, what are you seeing? Any good decisions? Any decisions that we made? Well, we'll hear from you tomorrow. Have a wonderful afternoon, and thanks again to each and every one of you for standing in the gap, those that do. Until tomorrow, be blessed.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West